The Crucible of the Soul, a metaphysical and psychological analysis of Rumi's love and pain. Assalamu alaikum, welcome to Sufi Essence with Hamid Said. The poetry of Jalal al-Din, Muhammad Rumi, the 13th century sage of Kenya, transcends the boundaries of language, time, and culture, speaking directly to the human heart. His legacy is an ocean of spiritual wisdom, yet no theme is more central to his work than the profound and paradoxical entanglement of love and pain. On the surface, these two forces appear as antagonists in the human experience, love as a source of ecstatic union, and pain as a harbinger of separation and suffering. Yet, in Rumi's metaphysical landscape, they are inseparable companions, two sides of the same sacred coin, each an indispensable catalyst for the soul's transformative journey. His is not a shallow romanticism, but a rigorous spiritual philosophy, where pain is the surgeon's scalpel and love is the ultimate cure. Today, we will undertake a comprehensive and deep analysis of this central dialectic. Our discourse will move beyond a superficial reading of his verses to engage with the intricate spiritual and psychological dimensions of his thought. We will argue that for Rumi, pain is not an affliction to be avoided but a divinely ordained instrument of purification, and love is not a mere emotion but the very substance of existence itself. We will explore this theme through a tripartite framework. First, by establishing the metaphysics of divine love as the soul's ultimate origin and destination. Second, by analyzing the role of spiritual pain, the pain of separation, the pain of purification, and the pain of longing as the necessary path. And third, by synthesizing these two forces in the culminating experience of spiritual annihilation, Fana, in union with the divine. Our objective is to reveal how Rumi's genius lies in his ability to transform the darkest aspects of the human condition into the very fuel for the ascent of the soul. Part 1. The Metaphysics of Divine Love. Ishqi Hakichi. To comprehend Rumi's philosophy of love, one must first grasp its true nature. This is not the transient, conditional love of the physical world, ishq majazi, but a yearning for the divine. A boundless and unconditional love for the Creator, known as Ishqi Hakichi. This love is not something that is acquired. It is the very essence of the soul, a memory of its primordial union with God before its descent into the material world. The foundational metaphor that permeates his work is that of the reed flute nay, whose melancholic cry is the lament of a soul separated from its origin. As he famously begins the Masnavi, listen to the story told by the reed of being separated. Since I was cut from the reed bed, I have made this weeping sound. This lament of the reed is the sound of Ishqi Hakichi. It is the eternal longing of the soul to return to its home, to the reed bed of divine presence. This longing is not merely an emotion, but an ontological imperative. It is the spiritual force that drives every spiritual seeker on their path. Rumi argues that the very reason for creation is love. In the famous Hadith Qudsi, Allah says, "I was a hidden treasure, and I loved to be known. So I created the creation so that I would be known." This divine love, this yearning for self-disclosure, is the primordial act of emanation that gave rise to all existence. Thus, all of creation, in its deepest reality, is an expression of love, and every soul, at its core, is instilled with this same divine longing. The metaphysics of Rumi's love is also inextricably linked to the names of Allah, particularly Al-Wadud the loving and Al-Jamil the beautiful. Allah's love is the source from which all other love flows. When a person loves another in the depths of their being, they are loving the reflection of the divine names that are manifest in that person. The physical beauty, the kindness, the intelligence of another is nothing but a manifestation of divine beauty and divine attributes. The true lover, therefore, sees through the veil of physical form to the spiritual reality that animates it. The goal of love, then, is to peel back these layers of illusion until the lover stands face to face with the ultimate beloved, Allah himself. This journey, however, cannot be undertaken alone. Rumi's life and poetry bear witness to the indispensable role of a spiritual guide, a mirror for the soul. For Rumi, this guide was Shamsi Tabrizi. Shams was not merely a companion or a mentor. He was the catalyst for Rumi's own ecstatic love. Before Shams, Rumi was a respected scholar and jurist. After meeting Shams, Rumi was transformed into a dancing mystic and a poet of divine intoxication. Shams was the physical manifestation of the divine beloved that Rumi's soul had been yearning for. His presence awakened in Rumi the dormant love for God, turning his theoretical knowledge into a living, fiery experience. The love between Rumi and Shams was not a worldly attachment, but a reflection of the ultimate love between the servant and the Lord. It was a love that was a direct channel to the divine, a tangible expression of the love of God. Part 2. The psychology of spiritual pain and suffering. In Rumi's cosmology, pain is not a random act of malevolence, but a necessary, divinely ordained tool for spiritual transformation. Just as a sculptor uses a chisel to reveal the form hidden within a block of stone, Allah uses pain to chip away at the human ego nafs and reveal the divine essence of the soul. For Rumi, the wound is the place where the light enters you. This is a radical reframing of suffering, turning it from a source of despair into a source of hope and spiritual growth. The psychology of spiritual pain in Rumi's work can be categorized into three fundamental forms: the pain of separation, the pain of purification, and the pain of longing. The pain of separation. Firak. The most fundamental pain in Rumi's philosophy is the pain of separation from the divine. This is the primal wound of existence, the core sorrow that every soul carries. It is the pain of the reed flute, the ache of being in a foreign land, a world of illusion and impermanence, far from the eternal home of divine presence. This pain is not a punishment, it is a spiritual compass that points the soul back to its origin. The more a person feels this separation, the more they are aware of their spiritual need, and the more intense their search becomes. Rumi argues that this pain is a mercy, a constant reminder of our true purpose. It is a divine mechanism to prevent the soul from becoming too comfortable in this transient world. The world of form, with its temporary pleasures and attachments, acts as a veil that conceals the true reality of the beloved. The pain of separation is what tears this veil, forcing the seeker to look inward and upward for true solace. This pain is the initial spark that ignites the spiritual journey. The pain of purification taskia. Once the journey begins, the seeker encounters the pain of purification. This is the suffering that comes with the struggle against the ego, though the ego is the greatest veil, the source of pride, anger, greed, and all the attachments that bind the soul to the material world. To reach the divine, the ego must be annihilated. This process is intensely painful. Rumi uses the analogy of gold being purified in fire. The heat of the fire is the pain of spiritual discipline, the pain of fasting, the pain of sleepless nights in prayer, the pain of controlling one's desires. This is not a self-inflicted punishment, but a divinely guided process of refinement. The pain of purification is what burns away the dross of the ego, leaving behind the pure, unadulterated essence of the soul. Rumi writes, "Only the one who has been through the fire will know the value of pure gold." The pain is a sign of a living faith, an active spiritual striving. It is the work of the divine names of majesty, Al-Jabbar the compeller, and Al-Qahar the subduer, which break the false idols of the self. The pain of longing. The third form of pain is the pain of longing. This is the sweet sorrow of a heart that has been awakened to the reality of divine love, but has not yet achieved full union. It is the ache of yearning for the beloved. This pain is a paradoxical state, for it is both agonizing and exhilarating. It is a sign of a living, awakened heart, a heart that is not satisfied with the world of form, but constantly seeks the world of meaning. This pain is what fills Rumi's poetry with its exquisite beauty and its powerful longing. It is a state that the spiritual aspirant does not wish to escape, for the very pain of longing is a testament to the reality of the beloved. In this state, the seeker realizes that the journey itself is the destination, and the longing is the very essence of the love they seek. Part 3. The synthesis. Annihilation, Fana, and union. For Rumi, love and pain are not separate phenomena, but two sides of the same transformative process. Love is the goal, but pain is the indispensable path. One cannot experience the ecstatic union of divine love without first undergoing the intense purification of spiritual pain. The very force of ishq, or passionate love, is what both creates and destroys the self. It is the divine fire that both burns and purifies. The culmination of this journey of love and pain is the experience of spiritual annihilation, Fana. Fana, in Rumi's philosophy, is not a physical death, but a spiritual one. It is the death of the false self, the ego, with all its attachments, illusions, and self-serving desires. It is the moment when the seeker realizes that their individual identity is an illusion, and that they're true. Reality is nothing but a drop in the ocean of divine being. The pain of separation and purification leads the seeker to this ultimate surrender. The ego, which clings to its own existence, resists this process with all its might, and this resistance is the source of the most intense spiritual pain. However, when the seeker finally lets go, they experience the ultimate freedom, Rumi writes. Die before you die. This is a call to die to the self in this life, to achieve Fana while still living. The annihilation of the self is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a new one. The final stage is Baka subsistence in the divine. After the annihilation of the false self, the true self, which is an eternal manifestation of divine reality, subsists in God. The drop has returned to the ocean, and in doing so, has become the ocean itself. This is the ultimate union, the resolution of all pain, and the fulfillment of all love. The sorrow of separation is replaced by the joy of reunion. The pain of purification is replaced by the bliss of spiritual purity. The longing is replaced by the presence of the beloved. The relationship between Rumi and Shams serves as a perfect microcosm of this entire journey. The initial meeting with Shams was a moment of ecstatic love that awakened Rumi's soul. The teachings and companionship of Shams were the fire of purification. The disappearance of Shams was the final and most agonizing pain, a separation so profound that it shattered Rumi's world. This pain, however, was the ultimate catalyst for his Fana. In the pain of losing Shams, Rumi found his beloved Allah, and realized that Shams was not an end in himself, but a mirror for the divine. The pain of separation from the physical Shams led to the union with the spiritual reality he represented, leading to the birth of the Masnavi and the Diwan, Rumi's greatest works. The pain of the loss of the physical beloved was the very thing that led to the discovery of the eternal beloved. Conclusion. In conclusion, Rumi's philosophy offers a profound and radical reframing of the human condition. He teaches us that love and pain are not opposites but essential partners in the journey of the soul. Love is the divine call, the primordial yearning that sets the soul in motion. Pain is the divine grace that cleanses the heart, breaks the ego, and prepares the soul for union. The pain of separation is what makes the spiritual journey urgent. The pain of purification is what makes it possible. And the pain of longing is what makes it a beautiful, living reality. His message is one of hope and transformation, an eternal beacon for all who find themselves in the crucible of suffering. He reminds us that the tears we shed are not signs of weakness, but spiritual ablutions that prepare the heart for divine presence. In the end, Rumi's great insight is that the human heart, in its darkest moments of pain, is closer than ever to the divine light of love. To understand Rumi is to understand that true freedom is not the absence of pain, but the experience of pain as a path to love.